Diablo Immortal. We already know what happened with the whole, like, with the outrage and all that stuff on the internet, the dislikes on the YouTube video, the cinematic, and the guy on stage with the red shirt. That asked if it was a joke, the Diablo mobile thing. But like, I've had, you know, I took yesterday off, I had some time to think about it, I watched some other videos, other reactions, and seeing like, okay, this is, you know, it's not all bad, but I'd say probably the number one thing for me was, you know, being hyped up all year, first seeing, or like, starting in August, really, when Brandy Camel came out and said that there are multiple Diablo 2 projects in the works and the forges are burning hot and all that stuff. And I was like, wow, that's exciting, right? You know, and then you let your mind wander, be like, well, it could be Diablo 4, it could be, you know, Diablo 2 remastered, or, you know, something else cool, whatever. And then they came out with the Diablo Switch, Diablo 3 on Switch, and I was like, wait, what? That's kind of weird. I mean, they have been on console, you know, on Xbox and stuff like that with Diablo 3, so there's definitely some Diablo community on the console, but like, over the years, was it 22 years now, like, Diablo fans have been on PC, and for them to hype it all up, and, well, getting ahead of myself, for them to hype it up and then come out with a Nintendo Switch was a little bit, you know, like, wow, that was interesting. Granted, that wasn't like the like the only thing, you know. Then at BlizzCon, you know, you first you have the Nintendo Switch, now you have the Diablo Mobile that was announced, Diablo Immortal, like, being on a mobile device only. And some of the first questions that were asked are, is it gonna be on PC? And like, the short answer was no from the Q&A. And like, people were like absolutely devastated and outraged, as you know, as you all know. Because like, you know, like I said earlier, we've been PC fans pretty much for 22 years, with the exception of some console fans overall. And to hype up at BlizzCon on main stage a mobile game by itself and alone, that ultimately I feel like was the fuel for the fire. All, like, I can say that, you know, maybe a mobile game for Diablo isn't necessarily a bad idea, but definitely not for, like, I don't feel like it should have been a main stage announcement, or if it is on main stage, you know, have some side announcement to, you know, Diablo 4, maybe at the end, just like, even like 30 seconds where it shows a D4, like, no content at all, just a quick teaser, you know, something like that. But obviously that's not how it went, that's not what they wanted to do. But I feel like most of the rage, I mean, like, people at BlizzCon too, like, spent money, and they spent, like, you know, their time, vacation time or whatever, you know, or people that got virtual tickets, and that's all for PC games, man. Like, obviously they didn't expect a mobile game. I mean, like, maybe some people did, but like, you know, Blizzard doesn't make mobile games other than like Hearthstone and things like that. So like, and then also not only that, for them to like expect it to go well, because obviously you don't like present something on main stage to expect it to go bad. But for them to expect it to go well is like, it kind of portrays the fact that they don't listen, or it kind of feels like they don't listen to the community, the Diablo community, you know, because, you know, if you literally asked anybody or any fan or something like that about, is this a, is this like a good idea, or is this something that you guys are looking forward to? People would like freak out if they knew exactly what was going on. Like, yeah, mobile game is not a bad idea. I personally think a mobile game might not be a bad idea. But again, like, that's only like as a side project, and I feel like, you know, it could have been better. But again, these are just my opinions. Yeah, so it hurts, man. It hurts. And everybody, honestly, is hurting from it because, you know, Blizzard had expectations that, you know, it was gonna go well. And people would be excited and hyped, and it was a disaster. You know? And the people are hurt because they didn't get the game that they wanted, or, you know, desired and stuff like that. It's actually a really good charm. So it's tough, man, because after Diablo 3, like, most of you guys know that I'm not a huge fan of Diablo 3. I don't mind it. I play it on resets and things like that. Like, Diablo 3 is, it's a solid game, but like, it's hard to match it with the Diablo franchise, in my opinion. So like, after that's why I'm still playing D2, and then like, after seeing them come up with the Diablo Immortal, I'm like, wow, they're getting farther and farther away from what I want. You know, is Diablo still viable for me to continue streaming and things like that? Those are questions that I ask as a streamer to myself. I'm like, okay, is Diablo going somewhere? Granted, Diablo 2 isn't really going anywhere in the single player sense, which is nice. I don't actually know where this charm goes. I'll just put it here. Lol, okay. Yeah, so Diablo Immortal has kind of made it like a, it's kind of broken the community a bit. It's broken the community. You know, some people are saying it's come together stronger, but it's like come together in rage. I mean, to some extent, like, it's good for Blizzard to know, but damn, dude, that's a tough blow. Like, getting catastrophically destroyed at BlizzCon, and then like people outraging online and stuff. So but yeah, I mean, overall, like I said, I'm not so upset that it's a mobile game. Okay, I'm not upset that it's a mobile game. The thing that I'm upset about is the fact that it's only a mobile game. Because where do people like me and you go after this? You know what I mean? Like I said, mobile game is not necessarily a bad idea. Because it is introducing a new audience. But you must know that when you're on main stage and you're looking for a new audience, obviously your existing audience is not going to be happy with that. Like, I feel like it's obvious. The situation just sucks for everybody. But like, overall, my thoughts on the game, actually, like, you know, my opinions on it, I'm not really a mobile player. Like, I'll play mobile games here and there. I did actually try, what was that game? Heretic Gods on mobile. Back when my PC crapped out and stuff, I did play that. But like, I'm done playing that now. And that was a decent game. But like, you know, I don't play mobile games. If anything, I'll play like console. But like, I'm primarily a PC gamer now, and I just made the switch not too long ago, like a few years ago. Because I used to play console all the time. And now I've spent all this money on, you know, hundreds or thousands of dollars on PC parts and making a PC and all that stuff to stream, to play games on, and now like none of that. It just feels like, well, now that none of that is really worth it, because like obviously that's. Do I go stream a mobile game now? I don't know. So, overall, like, yeah, it might be a fun little mobile game, but when I think mobile games, I think of time wasters. You know, like, get you to the next thing. Whatever you're doing. And like, and then the fact that it's an MMO as well, like, how are you supposed to play an MMO? If it's a time waster, like with a mobile game, and you just put it away in your pocket, like after 5 minutes of playing, you know, while you're on the crapper or something, man. Like you're playing your Diablo Immortal, and then like, alright, you put it away after a couple minutes. But if you're in an MMO, like, how are you supposed to put it away after a moment? Like, I feel like, you know, phones are only so capable with their battery and their phones in general. Like, they're only so strong. There's only so much you could put on a mobile device. So it makes me skeptical. And then there's also people, like, you know, talking about how it's like a reskin of, what was that other game? There's some other Chinese games. It's like something of gods. I can't remember. But that was answered by one of the devs, or one of the higher up Blizzard guys, and he said that essentially that's not the case. It's not copy paste. It is not like, it's from the ground up, essentially. So assuming that that's truthful, right? Like, that's not an issue. It's like, fine. It's fine. You know, it might look like some other games. They said like, it seems like the interface and the HUD and things like that work well with a mobile game, and they might as well keep the interface and the HUD of games that are similar. So it might look similar, but it's not. It's built from the ground up with similar controls as to other games. But, yeah, I mean, I watched, Riker's video. Shout out to Riker, he's a good guy. I watched Riker's video, so if you've seen it, he has a lot of the same things to say. I'm glad I waited, because my reaction video, I didn't really want to make it, to be honest. Everybody pretty much made a reaction video in the community. I didn't really want to make one, because I was a little bit, you know, I was a little bit upset. But, and after figuring it out, or after, like, you know, waiting it out a little bit, and then watching, Riker's video, and, like, seeing what some of the community had to say, it's not all negative. Blizzard did say very directly, and tried to make a point, that there are multiple teams on multiple projects. So that's basically as close as you can get to saying Diablo 4. Without saying it. But like, it just doesn't make sense again. Why they presented it the way they did, and all that stuff, you know. Because, like, they expected it to go well. But that's pretty much all I have to say about it. Like, yeah, I might play it a little bit. Like, I'll probably buy it. I'll probably play it. You know, to give it a shot. But I'm skeptical, man. I don't think that mobile is what I want to do. Yeah, D-Hugh, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Like, Diablo Immortal might have some content in-game that might step in the right direction. I don't know. I haven't played it. Some people have played it, not me. It might have some things in it, like mechanics, or things that people want to see. I don't know. It might have some looting. I don't know. Another thing that I'm scared of is the fact that, like, you know, mobile games are known for, you know, making a bunch of... I mean, they make a bunch of money off of, like... They got a bad reputation overall. As far as I think. And as far as I've seen, you know, mobile games are just money... You just sink a bunch of money in. You know, like, when I played Clash of Clans, it's like a pay-to-win scenario. Yeah, it's like, or you could grind it out daily for years, and then finally be on par with someone who just spent, you know, a couple $1,000 or whatever. So, that's another thing I'm afraid of. If I was to play it, I mean, if I don't play it, then it doesn't really matter. But, like, also I don't want Blizzard to be pay to win. I don't want everybody to go pay to win, man. That's not the way it is. Like, you gotta earn your freaking gear. You gotta earn your way up, you know? Like, I just did back like a year and a half ago, I grind to 99. In Diablo 2 on ladder, and that's what I'm talking about, like the whole grind all the way up there, man. Wasn't there a superior mesh armor, or am I crazy? Okay, there is. I didn't see it the second time, lol. So yeah, it's... So, I don't agree with pay to win. I think that most people think the same, especially, like, if you're an actual hardcore gamer. If you're a casual gamer, then whatever. You know, you just don't pay and you don't care about being on the top leaderboards or being competitor. things like that. Like, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea. I'm repeating myself at this point, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea to have a mobile game to increase your, you know, your player base and things like that, make more people excited about Diablo. Like, there are still, even for me, like, I've seen in Diablo 2 some young kids come in and play Diablo 2, like 14 years old and stuff like that. And it's going to definitely be more accessible to the younger generation as well, for sure. But again, the answer is, what about us? What about us Diablo fans? So, we'll have to wait and see, man. They have multiple projects. Right now, I'm just gonna be playing Diablo 2. I mean, that's what I was doing before. Like, but I feel like even more so, there'll be more Diablo 2. Like, I might try... I don't know. I might try some more, you know, Path of Exile. I'll still be playing resets of Diablo 3, resets of Path of Exile. I had fun with those. Maybe some Path of Diablo. You know, there'll be different things, so I'll be working on. But, you know, overall, I'm not super excited about the Diablo Immortal thing. That's pretty much all I gotta say. So I'm glad I'm glad I waited it out, man, because I saw some more reactions, and I also had time to think about it and stuff like that, so